All right. We're live. Expect everybody to be jumping in at any moment. Hopefully. Oh my God, the spam today. So much spam. Like every third email I'm getting is just a spam one. What's up, Keith? Good morning, but now good afternoon. Not in a good way today, Keith. So please bear with me. Please keep that in mind. Hope your morning is going well so far. Hope you get some words in this morning. There's Haas. What's up, Haas? I finished another short story this morning. Let's turn the day around for you. Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be. How's life for everybody? My life is not all that great, and it's. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am. The depression is kicking my ass. It's not like. It's not like there's any specific thing that is bothering me. It's just I suffer from depression, and so for the last couple of days, I've been very depressed. Yesterday was not a good day. No writing yesterday. I laid around. I watched some TV. Read. Couldn't even nap. I was so depressed. I'm trying to be positive. I really am. You know what? I'm going to be positive. So don't worry about all that. Lorraine also in the house. Good job on finishing the short story, Keith. I just finished book 1 of memoir. She enjoyed it. Look at it as the ideas were percolating like the coffee you love to drink so much. Yeah. Wednesday I wrote a lot, but I felt like I hit a wall of what comes next. I'm like, well, I'll just do it on Thursday. But then Thursday I woke up in a mood, and I would never tell my wife this, but this extra dog being here is really, really grating on my nerves. I'm not a dog person. I have an irrational fear of dogs, as a matter of fact. And this dog keeps staring at me and then barks at me every now and then when I walk too fast. And I just don't like, I'm just very uneasy with the dog. And the dog keeps attacking the dog keeps going after the cats, and that's pissing me off. So this was supposed to be 2 weeks ago. The dog was supposed to be gone. So we still have the dog. But yesterday, my wife takes the dog to work, but it's at night. Wednesday night was really bad with the dog just barking and annoying the hell out of me. And then yesterday, my wife took the dog over to her mom's, and then so the dog will be there until Sunday. But I'm like, when is this dog going back? This is a temporary thing, you know. Keith Ball holds my ego this morning. I have to figure out how to fix my story now. I was thinking, yeah, Keith is very blunt with stuff. Keith did that to one of my books years ago. But then I ignored him, and then that book became one of my best-selling books. So, Art Sloan in the house. I'm not a dog person either. Truth be told, most people love. Oh yeah, Armin, I'm sorry to hear you're having such a rough time. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the dog to go. The good part is my the dog is at with Tom and Jess until like Monday night or Tuesday because uh, my wife gets out off at 3 o'clock today from work. Fridays all summer they close the office at 3, which is cool. She hardly ever does it, but she swears today she's going to. And then tomorrow we're going to do something. I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to find something to do, somewhere to go and disappear. And then Sunday she's back at her mom's, but the dog will stay there because then Monday after work we're going to see her Aunt Bobby, who is 93 years old and still up and moving. She's the one who just got married to a 96-year-old back in like I don't know 6 months ago or so. So we're going to go to dinner with them down in Gainesville, so that'll be fun. But then Tuesday, she goes back to her mom's all day, and then she'll bring the dog back. Hopefully, by that point, somebody will have wanted the dog. It's a good dog. I just don't like dogs. I'm just very uncomfortable, and the dog can tell that I'm uncomfortable. Haas says, no, that's okay, Keith. You pointed a couple of very obvious weaknesses, and I appreciate it. Lorraine says, I wish I had something to say that could help. With depression in general and with my depression, there's nothing. Like my wife, it took her a long time to realize there's nothing she can do or say, or not, there's nothing she can say that's just going to snap me out of it, because a lot of times with it is people who get depression know it's not one thing that's setting you off. It could be nothing consciously that's setting you off. It's just I woke up in that mood kind of thing. She did call last night. She was on her way home from her mom's and she said, is there anything I can get you? And I said, cookies, a lot of cookies. And she said, okay, what do you want? But by the time Publix, Winn-Dixie, everything was closed, so she stopped at the gas station and she bought me like 4 giant packs of Oreos and some Chips Ahoy and then some those little mini chocolate donuts. And I'm like, you know what? This is what I need. I've actually been losing weight. I'm actually I was at my heaviest. I was at 365. This is a positive, Haas. I'm down to 331 now. Over the last like 6 months or so. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that day when I puked a lot last week, I probably lost like 8 or 9 pounds right there. What do you want, baby? So that's I guess that's a positive, right? Oh yeah, no, climb, man, please climb right up me. I'm not working. I'm not working. He says, Haas, is that story the first time these characters appear anywhere? Am I at a disadvantage not reading something older? There's Chad. Hey, folks. Mere seconds ago, I completed every draft in the NL Book 2 Sons of Squeaky done. Excellent. Excellent, Chad. That is a positive, good news we need. Could you get off? No, get away from my coffee, you sons of. All we can do for Armin is listen and point out his sexiness. I mean, literally, those are the only things you can really do to get me in a better mood. Congratulations, Chad. Chad, I like Sunset Squeeze. Subtitle. Keith, blunt with a comment. I can't imagine such an edge. Wink, wink. I bet it was at least poetic in his prose. Method of love is a modern method of modern love. Frank in the house. Tom in the house. Snacks don't exactly help with depression, but they make it more bearable. Congrats on your weight loss journey. Thank you. I mean, all those cookies and donuts last night probably didn't help it, I'm thinking, but they helped me. And I weighed this morning and I still weighed less than I have. So, yeah, I was like, when are you coming home? Can you stop? Because at that point it was like, I think I talked to her, it was like 8 o'clock. And I was like, yeah, I can't leave the house because it's going to get dark and I can't drive at night because I'm old. Night blindness kicks the crap out of me. But I didn't even eat all of them too, which was good. And again, Tom had the dog last night, which put me in a slightly better mood. Although I had some really crazy nightmares, but I think it's because of all the cookies I ate beforehand. Oh. Lorraine says, "Just kidding. Keith has a good heart behind what he says. Many thanks for that, Keith. Gonna have to start calling you El Guapo." Yep, Art in the house as well. Only a true friend can be as honest as I am with you people. Is that what that you call that? That's your justification? You know what? I'll take it. Correction, I'm gonna have to start calling you El Viaggio. I don't even know what any of these words mean. I don't speak French. I always have nightmares. It's odd. There's Charlie. Charlie just comes in laughing his ass off. Yeah, you people is right. We don't need friends to tell us how it is. Not always, though. Like today, for instance, I'm in a mood. I'm depressed. I'm gonna tell you what also depressed me yesterday, Chad. Watching that Tiger game and then watching the Red Sox game yesterday. I'm like, can't either of these teams just win a few games here? And if you got any hot takes, oh my God. I'm so glad I don't follow him anymore. He just says dumb things. YouTube is treating me like Chad today. Several of my messages have just disappeared. YouTube's like, I'm going to take one person, usually Chad, and I'm just going to delete everything. Amen to that, Chad. The people who don't care gloss anything over. You know. Trey wants to know on Rambo. Some moron that we follow, you might also follow. I don't follow him anymore. Basically made the big. He always says dumb things. And yesterday his dumb thing was that Rambo, oh, we're going to remake Rambo, but Rambo was a serial killer. And the movies made him into a nice guy or whatever he said. I'm like, shut up. Yeah, because that's what we want to see. We want to see a Rambo movie where he just has no morals and he's just killing people to kill people. Pause Friday, Army, we can't talk about the Tigers. Yeah. We can't talk about the Red Sox or the Tigers because both of those are extremely negative. Ugh. Brutal. Brutal. Chad, I need friends to tell me how it is more than anyone, and I do appreciate it. Troy says that is lame. Yeah, well, he is lame. I haven't seen that, but I haven't been online much this week. You're probably better off for that. You're probably better off for that. I found it. I think it's a Substack, but I don't know if anybody would be interested in it. It's basically like the 10 great Southern writers is what the thing is. It's like buried in my emails now. But I saw it. I was like, oh, that might be interesting to talk about to some people. A couple of names I know, but a lot of the names I did not know. In fact, one of the names I looked up their book, and I ended up getting it, placing a hold on it from the library, which they said this morning it came in. So probably tomorrow, one of the things we will do when we're out and about is I will go pick up that book. Tom says apparently Rambo also killed 60 people in First Blood book. Not sure where he's getting that number from. I don't know why you're still even following that moron. Because he's got to be the authority on everything. He's got to be the authority on Escape from New York. He's got to be the authority on Rambo. He's got to be the authority on everything. Shut up. Troy says, am I on that list? Which is weird. I think they said if there had been 11 or no, actually, it's 12 Southern writers to read alongside, is what the thing is. So you were number 13, they said. You were an honorable mention, Charlie. Lorraine, I'm on chapter 22 of That Which Is True Cannot Be. I've been reading that book. I'm buddy reading it, I guess, with Chad. I'm 230 of 460 pages into it now. So I'm literally halfway through the book. It's getting even more interesting now. I like it. I like the writing. How's Charlie? I finally read Spiders in My Belly. I had to take an Alka-Seltzer once I read it. Ren says, yeah, you're in the home stretch. Dare I ask what you think so far? Because your kiss is on my list. You turn out the light. Was all the Tremble stuff on X or Facebook or where? He's an idiot on Facebook. I remember when I said that the God of the Woods read like a Netflix series. They just announced the cast for God of the Woods in the upcoming Netflix. Oh, really? Well, let's look that up. Yeah, that would make a. That seems so far like it would make a. Oh, Maya Hawke. Maya Hawke will be in this. Will her dad Ethan be in it at all? She stars as Judy Luptak. Very cool. Let's see who else is in this. I never know names. All right, very cool. Yeah, that looks it's good. It's a really good book. Charlie says I'm liking it so far as well, Lorraine. I haven't picked up my Kindle. The problem is the Kindle died, and I'm too. I was gonna say lazy, but too dumb to just bring it in here and plug it in. I don't have a plug in my in the bedroom where it is. Giant piece of hair. And so at night I go in there. I'm like, oh, let me read. Oh, I forgot to charge this, and I'm like, I'm not getting out of bed to go and charge this. I'll do it in the morning. And then I just realized again for like a week now I have not charged it. So I will get back to it. Dude kissed Hall and or Oates so good they had to write a whole song about it. Yeah, oh yeah. I'm thinking all the Hall and Oates singing up in here today makes for a good positive Friday. Listen, when I think positive Friday, I think Hall and Oates. One of my beta arc readers just finished my second one. I have 6 chapters left to write in number 3. Very cool. Frank says Maya Hawke needs to take a chill pill. Why? Why would you say that? I think the only thing I've ever seen her in is wasn't she in Stranger Things? Frank says thanks, Charlie. I look forward to whether you guys think I stuck the ending. Keith says the fact that I'm still reading it says a lot. Admittedly, I'm not your audience. It's a tease of a haunting and the quality of the writing keeping me in it. Hated Aaron testing Delvin's loyalty. Hey, spoiler alert! Tom says going to the library on Tuesday because I realized I've never read a Carl. You never read a Carl Heisen book? You should have told me. I have like 10 of them. I have like 10 paperbacks in the garage. So go grab one. Thanks, Armand and Chad, for reading it too. I will finish it in the next week or so. I just got to charge my Kindle. Kindle Fire. Remember, Lorraine, they say men are dogs, but dogs are loyal as hell if treated right. Yeah. Keith made a dog analogy. Man ate Hall and or Oates so well they had to write a song about it. Exactly. I like Frank keeps going with this Hall and Oates thing. I've seen this be true over the years, Keith. Hyacinth is mid. Go for Tim Dorsey and said, hey, calm down. They're both great. I don't know which one I like better, Tim Dorsey or Carl Hyzen. There are certain books for each author that I like more, but I don't dislike any of those two authors. I think they are both great. You never heard of Carl Hysen or Tim Dorsey? There's a person that we all read his newsletter, and he would say, "You better unfuck that." They're both very good. What's the show? Well, Bad Monkey is adaptation, and also R.J. Decker, that TV series, which just got renewed for a second season, is also if you watch those shows, it's crime thriller, but funny, over the top, crazy characters. Both Dorsey and Heisen, well written books. There's some honor that you guys are reading my book. I know that's probably not in the genre you were all drawn to. Frank says I only read one Heisen book. It was good. Bad Monkey. Yeah, Bad Monkey. Lorraine, Frank was too busy talking about Hall & Oates. So I don't think he would have heard you if you had said it. Chad says, PK quotes on a Pause Friday. I can't go for that. No can do. Classic. I got my new lit chat, my Jacksonville Public Library coffee mug. There's absolutely no room for this. But it's like, oh, good, we got another mug. It's a free mug. I read the one about bass fishing tournaments, or bass fishing. I don't know which one it is. I checked out the first episode of Spider Noir. I think you should give it a chance. It's superhero. I'm out. I don't do superheroes. Not a fan. I mean, you could do a Chad, and you could try to suggest it all you want. Chad used to do that all the time. No, you would really like. No, you would like. I'm like, no. Now I have that Hall & Oates song in my head for the rest of the day, Chad. Probably for the rest of your life. Sorry for yelling, Lorraine. I'm trying to get in a better mood. Sometimes I do that by yelling. It's a Spider-Man in 1940. He's a PI failed superhero. Not interested. I mean, you can keep trying. You can keep talking about it over and over for the next 2 hours. I ain't watching it. It's a retelling of Spider-Man. Who wrote that, Haas? No, the old retelling of Spider-Man. Not another retelling. Fine, I'll stop her. Will I? I don't think you will. And I will, even if I had an inkling, yeah, I said inkling. Even if I had an inkling to watch it, I won't watch it now because you are so insistent. I made chicken today for lunch with some taco seasoning and some onions. And then I cut up part of a tomato and some lettuce. And I stuffed them into pitas. However, the pitas that we purchased are so flat that when you cut the pita in half, you cannot open the pita. You know, like it's a pocket. You cut a pita in half and you get 2 pockets to stuff things in. They will not open. So then I got to cut them in quarters, and then I have to literally slit them until they open. So I'm making quarter pita sandwiches. They were delicious. I had those for lunch. Haas says, no, I didn't write a retelling of Spider-Man. There's Haas defended himself, even though we know the truth. Lorraine says, I plan on starting the Spider Noir this weekend with my husband and oldest son. Keith says, fusion. Lorraine says, fancy mug. Pita doesn't pocket the way it used to. I know. She bought me these pitas one time, and they just opened so beautifully. No rips. You know, sometimes you open a pita and you get your finger and then it rips. No, those were great. These, awful. So I'm literally like I'm eating like I'm in the Middle East, ripping bread and putting stuff on top of it, kind of thing. Was that naan bread? Is that what they call that? Right. So I just started drinking coffee a few days ago to keep my alert while I'm writing. Nice. What are you drinking? Tom says they should make cinnamon raisin pita, or maybe they do. I think they do. I think they actually do, but I'm like, last night I had chicken patties. My wife, we made burgers. She made burgers. And I'm like, you know what I want? I want lettuce, tomato, and onion for my burger. The problem is I never eat. I'll eat it once and then I never eat again. She's like, well, you can do other things with lettuce, tomato, and onion. I'm like, all right, buy them, and then I'll just try to come up with things. So last night I made chicken patties with lettuce, tomato, and onion on top of it, and Swiss cheese melted on it, and that was delicious. But I just did it on hamburger rolls. No cinnamon raisin bagel, which was just crazy. Maybe that's why I'm in such a bad mood. Lorraine says, "Me, dear Mercy, I think I need some now." Haas didn't retell Spider-Man so poorly that Hall and Oates didn't write a song about it. Yeah. Non-bread is any bread that isn't bread. Haas, it's not a retelling. Yeah, but pitas are bread, right? Anything that's bread. Non is bread. Naan. That's what my son used to call it. Hey, you got any of that naan bread? I'm like, I don't think we have naan bread. Apparently, he ate some naan bread at his girlfriend's when he was like 13 or something stupid. Why do you guys keep insisting on retelling this retelling joke? Because it's hysterical. And also Haas's reaction. Hysterical. We're gonna charge my watch so I can keep track of how many steps I'm not walking every day. If I can get my steps in, if I can hit my 6,000 to 8,000 steps every day, man, I would lose a ton of weight. Just fall off of me. We see the button, Lorraine, and we need to push it. Exactly. I mean, that literally Keith summed it up. I watched what I watched The Burrows with Alfred Molina and Gina Davis and all them. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I'm going to do a review probably this afternoon on it. A couple other things that I got to do a review on as well. Tom says non-bread is good for when you don't have a fork. Yeah. Although I take the fork and I just fork everything on top of it. Right, so haven't you used that line before, Keith? More retelling. Chaz says, I'm down with checking out Spider Noir. Not a superhero guy at all, but I'm a lazy saxophone while steam rises from the manhole in a dark alley guy. I just wish it wasn't. The turnoff for me is Spider-Man. Maybe you should do an Irish step dance during the stream. It would make for a very entertaining segment, and you'll get your steps in. That is true. Somebody once suggested, like, you know how you get your steps in? Dance. Put some music on the television, just dance around the. But I'm like, you know, I would be doing the lambada, the forbidden dance, and you don't want that. You don't want to be doing that by yourself. You get hurt. I would do some tap dancing, but there's that girl who does it to like Slayer and stuff. She's doing it to Pantera. I saw yesterday. Rain says, "Use crap. I need to shake my typos." Yeah, you're starting to get like Frank. I like to plagiarize the best, Lorraine. Spider Noir is a retelling of the Maltese Falcon. That might be true. I'm in dances like everyone's watching. Yeah. How do you dance the Bathory? You know how you dance the Bathory? You just stand and you just stare. You don't move for the 14 minutes of one of his Norse retellings. Charlie, video idea: how I dance for 8K steps a day. Yeah, maybe not. From what I'm seeing, Spider Noir is a retelling of Mickey Splain's Mike Hammer with Stacy Keach as Spider-Man. Now, if Stacy Keach played Spider-Man, then I would watch it. I'm sure Haas had something to do with it. There's I think Netflix has a Joe Nesbo limited series that I want to watch. Maybe we'll watch that this weekend. Although I probably do need to leave the house tomorrow. I did take a shower this morning, though. I mean, that's something. Ooh. Then I'll pluck your awesome limb from limb scene and use it, but only as a retelling. Remember when Stacy Keach played Sergeant Stadinko? Many years ago. Nice work, Chuck. I do probably need to write something. The problem is how to write that much violence into a Southern Gothic story without a Bigfoot. Yeah, that's always been a tough one. Stacey Keach and Brian Dennehy as buddy cops would have been the best. Yeah, I can see those two pairing up. Stop saying how many moons ago because the moon is much sooner these days. Yeah. So I mean, really, you got to. I mean, think about that. Think about the moon. And I'm going to read this thing about 12 Southern writers not named Charlie Walls to read alongside the canon. So anybody who's interested, shut up and listen. The rest of you just keep talking. I don't care. When people talk about Southern literature, the same names rise to the surface: Faulkner, O'Connor, Welty, Gay, McCarthy. But here's 12 more. All right. Always surprise me. Here's the writers. I'm gonna name them. Lorraine might be interested in this. Chad should be interested in this. I don't know who else. Carrie Holiday, Caryholladday. I got one of these books. That's my hold at the library. I got to pick up tomorrow. It's a female. She writes with a kind of restraint that makes the emotional freight of her stories land harder. She doesn't explain family, she renders it. Her work sits with ambiguity long after most writers would have tied the knot, and that patience is what makes her fiction feel true. I read her before I fully understood why her work affected me the way it did, and eventually I had to ask. She is the real thing. So there's one. Yeah, top 12. You're number 13. Second one, Wes Blake. Wes's work resists the two failure modes that trap a lot of contemporary Southern fiction: sentimentality on one end, grit lit performance on the other. What he does instead is harder. He grounds atmosphere in specificity, lets reflection arrive earned rather than announced, and trusts the reader to carry some of the weight. That trust shows up on the page. So that also sounds like an interesting one. Maybe Barry Hannah will be on the list. Weston Lake. Next one, Chad knows this one. David Joy. I still have a couple of his books I have to read on the pile. David is one of the most important voices working in Appalachian fiction right now, and we don't think that's an overstatement. His novels confront the violence and inheritance of mountain life without flinching and without flattening the people inside those realities into symbols. Been reading him for years. If you haven't read Where All Light Tends to Go, start there, then read everything else. Who is Westlake? Westlake is me and Tom, our Black private investigator series. He's not black. It's just the book names start with or have black in them. I'm trying to think if there ever was a book I read that made me mistrust the author. That's about basically anytime I read one of your books, Frank. George Singleton. He's been one of the sharpest working writers in the South for decades. He still doesn't get the credit he deserves outside of the region. Michael Farris Smith. He writes the kind of prose that slows you down. There's a stark lyricism to it. His sentences carry weather and landscape and moral weight all at once. And his subject matter, the men and women living at the edges of the modern South, matches that register exactly. Desperation Road is a good entry point. Don't read it before bed. Gaylord Brewer. Gaylord's poem is a poet. It's a poet. I don't care about poets. I'm skipping that one. KB Ballantyne writes about landscape, faith, and family in ways that find emotional depth without reaching for it. Another poet. Malcolm Glass, another poet. Ron Rash, one of my favorites. Ron has earned his place in the conversation about Appalachian literature not just because of the volume of his output, but because of his consistency. Novel, story, poem, he moves across forms with the same precision, the same restraint, the same refusal to sentimentalize what he loves. If you read nothing else, read the opening pages of Saints at the River. They will tell you everything you need to know about what he can do, and you won't stop there. Yeah, that's a great book. Jesse Graves, another poet. Jeff Hardin, another poet. Apparently, if you're running about the South, you should be a poet. Ellen Morris Pruitt. Ellen brings humor, curiosity, and genuine humanity to the question of what it means to write the South now. Her work doesn't settle for received versions of regional identity. It presses on the edges of those versions and finds something more interesting underneath. So those are the ones. I got this from Substack of Porchlight. Porchlight from Porchlight, a journal of Southern literature, which on Substack, which you should all be following. Look up Porchlight. So there you go. Trace, I think he's passed away now, but he was a really good Southern writer. His collection, Bats Out of Hell, is really good, and all of his novels I've read are good. He's a Mississippi writer. I've never heard of him. I'm going to have to look that up. Neil Gaiman makes me mistrust the author. for reasons. Chad says, reads it right from my mind, man, I can't stand poetry. I agree. Poetry is, no. All right, so I think the timing of the chat isn't lining up with what Armand is saying, at least not for me. Chad, don't say such painful things. What about Tennessee Williams? What about him? Mr. Williams to you. I don't think I've read any Tennessee Williams stuff. Who wrote that? They suck. Whereas I've never heard of George Singleton or Smith. You know, maybe then you need to check them out. Are those mainly recent, as in the last 20 years, Southern authors? Yeah. Basically, they're saying these are the new names that you should be reading, along with Faulkner and O'Connor and McCarthy and all that. Because these guys who talk so much about music can't see songs or poems to music. No. You know why? Because they got music behind them, which is good. Poetry, stupid. Chuck, Tennessee Buddha, yeah. Yeah, Jenny McCarthy, obviously. Who else? What other McCarthy is there? Songwriters worth anything are definitely poets. I find the poet ones boring. Bob Dylan, boring. The Doors, boring. Steel Panther, no, they're really good. It's a different thing. If you were like, I'm gonna say this poem, and there's no music, the music is what gets me. Lyrics are mostly stupid. Everybody has their own opinion. Mine is right, because this is Armand's opinion, is literally the name of this channel. Holy crap with the spam today. I just got 13 spam messages in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They are at it today. They're trying to hook me. I don't want to read McCarthy or McCurdy, Frank. Huge difference between reading a book of poetry and spinning some music. I shouldn't even have to type that, especially on a positive Friday. I know. Keith's just trying to be a dick as usual. I say that in the most positive way. I've been contemplating writing a Bigfoot poem. It will be my mission to get you to appreciate it. Here's how I will actually read that poem. You tie me to a chair and you do like Clockwork Orange and you open my eyeballs and you put it on a screen and then you read it to me. That is the only way I'm reading poetry. Here I was thinking I was succeeding in being a dick. I mean, you are at times. You know what? I'm going to give that to you. That's my fault. I apologize. Most of the time, you are a very successful dick. Yeah, gonna go Clockwork Orange on you. Who do I have to pay to get on that list? I think you have to write books like they're saying, or write some poetry. That person apparently likes poetry. Just write some poetry. I legit read a book of chicken poems. Was it about cooking chicken, or was it like about live chickens? Like what was the thing behind it? That's what I want to know. All right, Charlie, if you're still there, what do you recommend by Barry Hannah? Is there a specific title? I don't see that Bats Out of Hell one. Dirty Chicken Limericks, Frank. No, and Frank probably. Trust, I'm not too big on poetry either. I do like Cavafy. Most of his poems are about Greek mythology and are short. Daryl Hannah. I mean, that chick can write. Frank does not recommend that you're not going to do a book review of the Chicken Poems book. Here's the problem, though. A lot of this stuff is on. I don't think there's any of his books in my library. No, there's nothing that are just books. Just I can tolerate poetry if it's a story and actually rhymes, but anything that comes from deep inside the author, covering stuff in their personal life that's cryptic, I can't go for that. No can do. I did review the Chicken Poems book, 3 stars likely. So you really liked it. I haven't written a poem in at least 20 years. Lorraine, now is the weekend to start. What's Lorraine doing this weekend? She's writing poetry. She's trying to get on that whatever the porch light list on Substack. But I do scratch lines down everywhere a lot. Probably don't have I don't see a Barry Hannah book because as soon as anybody mentions a book, Tom's probably immediately going on the library website and grabbing a copy that I can't get it. It appears to be out of print. Unexpected. Wow. When did the chickens fight? Page 81. Daryl Hannah married to poet Neil Young, previously married to poet and bare knuckle wife fighter Jackson Brown. Well, they had a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Chad, at least I got a laugh from your Hall and Oates line again. I dated a girl in my 20s that wrote poetry. She was one of these, it's like 1992, 1993. She was one of these. I'm like 22, 23. And she's like, I'm a goth chick and I only listen to The Cure and I only listen to sad stuff. I only listen to Cleopatra Records, Dead Can Dance, and stuff like that. And I write poetry. I write poetry about death because I just feel like I'm so close to death, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's lame. Shut up. Bare knuckle wife fighter. I mean, in all fairness, when he beat her up, he didn't use gloves. I also read a book of minivan poems, which I did enjoy. You find the craziest books, Frank. Cray with a Z at the end. Crazy. Is my what do you call it? It looks a little fuzzy. Let me get a little knack in here. Let me see if this. That helps a little. Did that help any? Why didn't anybody tell me I was so fuzzy looking? Yeah, that you can see me now. Hide this gorgeousness. I don't think I'm going to be on for long today. I thought you were always fuzzy, right? Apparently I am. I don't know what's going on. I read poetry for YouTube Shorts every Friday, but I know now who is not listening. Yeah, I'm not listening. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, good luck with it. I'll put it on in the background to give you a like on it, but I can't read that stuff. I always wonder I can't remember that girl's name. I always wonder with her. It seems like, she's like right now she's like in her mid 50s and she's a housewife, and she's worried about like the doilies on the end tables in her living room, and she's married to like an accountant or something, and she has, her 1.5 children who are off to college right now or something like that. And she doesn't even wear black. She don't wear black at all. And she's like, "Oh no, I only listen to Lady Gaga now. I never listen to orchestral maneuvers in the dark. I don't even know who that is." Like, she seems like she'd be that kind of person. Keith says he listens to them, Lorraine. You got a little bit of brown on your nose there, Keith. You might want to. Mayor's out there. Neil's out there. Sitting in his garage on his phone. I'm like, what's that noise? Oh, it's his deep voice. Yeah, we're just gonna say the nose right now. Lady Gaga, though, that's a poet for the ages, right? Belle Biv DeVoe, now you know. Yo, slick, blow. I didn't put any conditioner in this when I took a shower. It feels a little dry. Yeah. I got a freaking, I don't know what that is. Is it a locust? A giant grass. The thing's like this big. Giant grasshopper looking thing on my window screen. It's been there since yesterday. The cats were taking turns going nuts trying to get at it. Even though they haven't figured out they can't get through glass. But it's pretty big. It's like a locust plague coming in. This thing's gonna advance Scott. It's gonna destroy all of our crops. Beat me to it, Haas. Chad says she sounds like she's out of touch. Touch. Lorraine says, thank you, Keith. I appreciate you. I think I read a poem, The Evolution of Man, about the man who taught other men to reach deeper into their souls. There you go. There you go. And you know what that will be? Another poem I do not read. They do a poetry thing every month in St. Augustine, and they always used to invite me. I mean, the guy who ran it was always like, dude, you got to come down. I'm like, I don't like poetry. I don't want to sit there and listen to poetry. I'm sure not going to write any poetry. That sounds awful. Give me a million reasons over and over. And he says, no thanks. They do Happy Medium Books here does a thing the second Tuesday. Tim Gilmore gets a bunch of different people. And sometimes it's like cool. Sometimes it's authors. Like I know in a couple weeks, some author will be here 2:00 on Flag Day. I just realized I don't know if I can leave the house on Flag Day, but yeah. So Flag Day, they'll do like an author will come in and do a talk or something. But sometimes they do. You get there and it's just poetry, and it's like an hour and a half of people saying poetry. And there's a local poet, and she writes political poems that are just god awful. I'm going to be honest with you. They're just awful. And she does the whole over enunciation of words, she talks with her hands, and she'll do like, what? She'll be like, where art thou, Trump? Again, she screams it. Like, what are you doing? This is like when they had the what do you call it? The poets in like the Flintstones. That's how bad it is. Jack Ketchum told the cool story about Lady Gaga as he was best friends with her dad and used to help with her schoolwork. Jack Ketchum. Yeah, I was at the bar at World Horror in Portland, and he told that story. He used to babysit her. Her dad owned a bar in New York City, and he would obviously go and frequent the bar all the time. They were good friends, and then he would babysit her. Says, speak for yourself, Haas. My chicken salad is especially creamy today. I don't like chicken salad. I'm a huge tuna salad fan, but not chicken salad. I think I would like it. I don't know why. That was an observation. That was a chicken poem. Oh, okay. Well, that's probably why I don't like it, because it's chicken salad. That sounds terrible. Modern political poetry, yeah. Keith wrote me a poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. I've got a big surprise for you. Now say hello to my little friend. That's wonderful. Portland, Portland, Oregon is a city I will never, ever go back to. It was dark. It was rainy. There was 80 billion homeless people, encampments everywhere. The donuts weren't that great. Excuse me, it's Dallas to his good bestest friends. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Me and Chad are not his good bestest friends. So we have to call him Jack. My new coffee table book, another poem Armand will not read. No words, lots of pictures. I mean, if it just has pictures, I might read it. That beatnik poetry slam stuff. Yeah, I've seen that stuff too. They do that. But yeah, she does political. And here's the thing, like the poem is like, I don't know, whatever it is, 20 lines, is like 2 pages or whatever. So it takes you like, I don't know, a minute to read this poem, but she does 5 minutes of. Okay, so here's the setup. I wrote this poem about. This is about the Gaza Strip when June 8th, 1991. Blah blah, and she tells this whole story about how we illegally went into the Middle East to get oil or something. I don't know. This whole big thing based on whatever, and then she tells this that she reads this, sand, oil. The Middle East has never been the same. Like those kinds of things. And everybody's like, oh my God, oh my, that's wonderful. Oh, that's just wonderful. And I'm like, oh, I hope she takes a break because I've got to get up and get another cup of coffee. It says, I'm picky about poetry. I hate political anything in life, so definitely no one. Yeah. And anytime I see she's on the bill, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to that. Chad says, speak for yourself, Armand. Ketchum signed his emails to me as Dallas. That's written for me. Well, you know what? Then I stand corrected. You were one of the handful of people that is allowed to call him Dallas. I never exchanged emails with him, so he was always Mr. Ketchum to me. How do you keep from laughing when she's doing all that, Armand? I swear it's hard. Me and Amanda Ward went one time, and I was just like, oh my God, is this bad? This is just so. I'm waiting for her to go Scooby-Doo, wow, wow, wow. She wears her anti-Trump hat. She has her American. She's a big woman shaped like a Oompa Loompa. She wears a giant American flag shirt with a Save America vest on and all kinds of. Yeah, just a nightmare. I hate poetry slam stuff too. I just want a personal experience with beautiful words and imagery. Yeah, they would rather just shout at you. Well, for Armand's poetry presence have me literally. I've seen enough of these stupid things to know. I've seen her like 5 or 6 times because I'll go to places thinking, oh, it's so and so is going to be there, and then she shows up. I just have a couple of new poems that I wrote on the walk over. I go, yeah, these poems got to be great if you literally just wrote them 5 minutes ago. Where it says, manly men who whisper a little poem or two are sexy. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Lorraine. I've gotten laid more than enough in my lifetime. I'm happy. Sounds like a real man eater. I see what you did there, Chad. I see what you did. And it's the shouting part of it, I think, that bothers me the most. It's not the dumb thing she's saying about politics that I don't really care about. It's just and I'm sure, because I haven't seen her in like 2 months or something, I'm sure everything that's happened in the last 2 months, she'll be like, oh, so here's my latest poem. It's called, Building the UFC Arena, or something, or Vanilla Ice is playing this show. And then she'll spice in some Vanilla Ice lyrics or something. I don't know what she's going to do. Does she make money from this shitty poetry? I don't know. She's on a lot of podcasts with it. And we were at, Mike O'Connell had done the, where is it? This for me. A Drabble thing that he, which is pretty cool. And he was like selling these at the library. And she was there with copies of the book. It just come out. So she had her proof copies in a bag. And like a sealed plastic bag she was walking around showing everybody. And then I guess when she does this poetry crap at the bookstore, I know they have them on sale there. I don't know how many she's actually selling. Tom says, there's more overacting in a poetry slam than in anything William Shatner has ever done. Yeah. I could watch Shatner do his thing all day because he doesn't take himself seriously. Right. Whereas these people, they are definitely taking themselves seriously. I remember I went to a convention in Gainesville at the Florida, home of the Gators, SwampCon years ago. And we had to, me and Richard Lee Byers and can't remember the other guy. We were the whatever they call those authors in residence or some crap like that. I don't know. They fed us and they gave us hotel rooms for the weekend. And one of the things we had to do a panel, but we also had to judge a poetry thing. And it was like, I don't want to do that. And they were like, well, let's just, so I'm like, I guess they're feeding us. They gave us some good food. God, will you stop? And then it was like 3 hours. Every person got like 5 poems to read. And half of them weren't even like ready. They were like, I don't know which one to read. I brought 608 poems with me. Let me just shuffle papers for 5 minutes. It was just awful. And at the end, I was like, what did you guys think? I didn't like any of them. I'm like, you guys, I didn't like any of these. Here's Keith doodling. There once was a Sasquatch named Pete who possessed most of Norma's big feet. He crashed through the pine, stepped right out of line, and vanished before a tweet. Like a bird? Yeah. So basically, no. Bravo to your quiet doodling. Funny stuff. You're very loud. Don't you see the giant locust on the window is going to eat all of our crops? Let's see what you can come up with in 15 minutes, Charlie. Yeah. Or was the big feet part meant to be provocative? Oh, Lorraine. Can't sit here for long. You're very heavy. You're very heavy. She feeds you way too much food. Give me a topic. I'll write a poem quick. I may hate it, but I don't suck at it. Write a poem about Frank Edler and his dog. I believe he has a dog. All right, you got to get down. You got to get down. Jesus. I don't know why I wear black because all I have is white hair, white cat hair on everything. Chad, the topic is Calico Cat. I can't come up with a poem in 10 years, Keith. I was just trying to figure out what you meant. I Don't Suck at Poetry by Frank Edler. Yeah. Frank Edler, the poetry had exploded. Death gets a poetry book. Death and poetry had exploded. Frank says, I don't suck at poetry. Oh, you're probably amazing at it. Suck at life. But poetry, like that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? The end. The XTC band end. Somebody, I can't remember what author, had posted a while ago that they were in the car and they heard a song they'd never heard before, and it was "Dear God" by XTC. And then how much sense it made, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, that song is like, I don't know, 30 years old. You just heard that song? That's it. That's the poem, and you don't even recognize it as a poem, yet alone greatness. There's a poem in my first short story collection, but it rhymes and makes sense and isn't pretentious. Yeah. Forgive me, Charlie. I was too defensive. The meaning is Pete disappeared so fast the bird didn't get the chance to tweet. Ah, that makes more sense. I remember in all of her poems, she kept calling him. Her big thing was she kept calling the president the Orange Cheeto. Of course, none of her stuff rhymes. So I'm like, what rhymes with Cheeto? Nito. So she got, the orange Cheeto stands on the White House lawn. Bombs bursting overhead. Like stupid stuff like that. Rain says, there are poems and poets quoted in second book. You all have been warned. I'll just skip over those parts. Troy says, unfortunately, I have a poem coming out later this year, but it's not rhyming and started life as a drabble. I watched the Hear and Aid Where Stars video yesterday for the first time in decades. I used to have that thing on VHS when I was a teen. Oh, yeah. Frank's the poetry, the last thing I would have bet we'd be talking about today on Cauchy. Poetic drabbles. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't think we would be talking about poems either, to be honest with you. Poems don't have to rhyme, but they're better when they do. There once was a man from Nantucket. I'm starting to get a lot of sales from the things I'm posting, products I'm posting on all these videos now. I actually went back yesterday. One of the things I did, I was still kind of working yesterday. I went back and I did a bunch of different products on older videos. Key says, I know where you're going with that one. Oh, you've heard that one before? Frank, under the stars making some s'mores, heard a loud crack from behind my back, felt a hand on back and turned to look when I heard a voice say, hi, I'm Bigfoot. Keith, this should interest you. On one of the videos yesterday, I'm like, you just got to come up with products. And I'm like, the more general, the better. So I'm like, you know what? Bigfoot. I don't care if it's books, whatever it is. Boom. I get a bunch of things that I get a commission, 10% or more commission on stuff. And one of the things was, I forget what the company was, but it was a 7-foot tall Bigfoot with hair. And it was this pose from that dumb fake video, Gimlet, whatever the heck it is. Gimli from the Lord of the Ring. It's that pose of him kind of. And it was what did they say? 1,800 pounds. But it's on wheels. It's on a base and on wheels. And it was $39,999. $40,000 for that thing. One of a kind, it said. And I was like, man, if I could sell one of those, I get 10% of that commission. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. He says, Tom, I love it. That the bucket all the way in Nantucket. Tom, you guys are on a roll. Glenn Livet. Sounds awesome, but also too short, 9 feet tall, or it's a skunk ape. Here's what I know, Keith. None of them are real, so it doesn't matter. I don't know if it was 7 foot. It might have been a taller. I just remember there was so much of it in the description they could post. It's supposed to be lifelike, although it's not a real thing. And I'm like, you know what? I can make like $4,000 if somebody bought this dumb thing. Examples of why poetry is better when it rhymes. I want to get on your case, oh babe. I want to put my log in your fireplace. Yeah, that's poetry right there. We're going down the highway doing 69. Also great lyrics from Kiss. Exhibit B, put your hand in my pocket and grab onto my rocket. Yep, same author. Skunk Ape is real. Stop yelling, Charlie. Chad apologized. We got a lady in the house. So as you might have guessed, I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting any writing in during this session. I almost chastised you, Chad, but you saved me. You know what I watched yesterday? I mean, I watched the Tigers lose. I watched the Red Sox lose. I watched awful baseball. And then I'm like, let me just put something on. Like I normally put like diners, drive-ins, and dives or something like that. Life PD, just something that I know this can be 40 hours. And one of those movies that I watch every time, no matter what part I'm at, and my wife laughs at me. There's two definite movies that anytime I see them on, I watch. And the one I watched yesterday was The Day After Tomorrow. I just love seeing the buildings get blown up with hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff. I love all the big parts of that. And on the 86-inch television, it looks fantastic. So I watched that. I watched like the last hour of that, just lying on the couch, feeling miserable and depressed. And I'm just going to watch this stupid movie. If Goonies is on, life stops for me. It's right. So we all have our movie or two. I'm going to tell you what the other movie is for me. Reign of Fire with Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey. If that movie is on, I am watching it. Now, I don't ever go like, let me go search for a movie that I've seen before. Like I don't have like DVDs or VHS or beta tapes of stuff. But if they just happen to be on, I'm just going to put them on. Tomorrow comes a day too soon. To be fair, I added a questionable line to the limerick, but held my finger back from the keys. We all want to hear it now. I love how Jake Gyllenhaal was supposed to be 17 in that movie. Yeah, he's like 30. Charlie also likes Reign of Fire a good bit, too. I don't think I've ever watched Reign of Fire. What? The greatest dragon movie ever. I like that movie. It's a good movie. I remember there were rumors that they were going to make a second one. Which I don't know how you would do that if you watched it all the way to the end. But good movie. It's just one of those dumb movies that you got to watch. I don't worship false dragons. Well, you know what? I do. I wholeheartedly worship false dragons. I'm going to tell you who I don't worship, though. Imagine Dragons. I don't know. You know what? Dragons is another thing I can do for the product list. Because again, every day I'm getting people are buying something off of some random thing. You know, I get a lot of sales from the Sunshine's hot dog truck lady. That video has made me a good chunk of change. How I Dragons. Hi, I'm Dragon. That would be an autobiography I would love to read. So I watched Burnt Offerings with Oliver Reed and Betty Davis is a comfort movie for me. So is River's Edge. I've still never seen River's Edge. I bet you get a lot of sales off that video. Yeah, what's funny is like a product on there's like hot dogs, but I get a ton of other videos because all you got to do is click on a product, and then if you buy anything off of that website in like the next 24 hours or something, I still get a credit if it's something that something that I can get a commission off of. I get a lot of sales. I had one person who spent like $600 on stuff, but I did not get commission on any of it. Troy says, Burnt Offerings is good book and movie. I can't admit to the movie that makes me stop my truck. Come on, Lorraine. We're all sharing here. It's going to rain. Lorraine says, Reign of Fire was a good one, right? Troy says, is it Harry Potter, Lorraine? First, I'm going to write a lit RPG about what the dragon from Atari Adventure is up to these days. A lot of people want to know that. So, you know what? You might get that's a good hook right there. Friday the 13th, Part 3, Lorraine? I'm guessing Dirty Dancing for Lorraine. Is it Beaches with Bette Midler? Fried Green Tomatoes? That's another good guess, too, right? Frank loves Dirty Dancing. I don't think I've ever seen Dirty Dancing. Trey says Friday the 13th, Part 3 is one of the worst ones. That's why she doesn't want to admit it. Not Harry Potter, Charlie, but does involve supernatural creatures. Shrek? Frank says I'll watch it every time. Hocus Pocus? Critters, it's Critters. Is it Chud? Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers? I'll tell you the other movie I put on whenever my wife and me are just put something on is Dodgeball. Because you're just so dumb. It's great. Shrek. Oh, another great comfort movie, Kingdom of the Spiders with Shatner. Pure gold. I'm telling you one I used to love as a kid when I was really into horror movies. I had the VHS tape of it, and me and my brother would watch it all the time, was Raining Blood with Ernest Borgnine. That was a great, freaky movie. Think Forbidden Romance and Sexy Stairs. Squirm, Chad Thoughts, National Treasure. I'll watch if it's on. The Gate. Is it the John Belushi biography movie? Charlie wins points with having read and enjoying Bird Offerings, then loses all the points for dissing Friday the 13th. So you're on an even. You just basically it's a wash. Is it the Mighty Ducks? It's the Mighty Ducks, isn't it? Love Squirm Keith. Is that Christopher Reeves? Was it Somewhere in Time? Is it that one? It's Ghostbusters. That was my guess. That's a guess because Forbidden Romance. Which I also like Kingdom of Spiders. Is it Donnie Darko? Not Dirty Dancing, but I did like it. I never saw it. Now, Red Dawn, I love that movie. The original, not the stupid remake. And an ex who loved that movie, though. She would watch it all the time, and I would always leave the room. Haas says, I think Goonies is a retelling of Indiana Jones, isn't it? Oh, Haas. Stirring up trouble. I never watched Donnie Darko all the way through. Speaking of Donnie Darko, Michael Schotter in the house. He says, no, Haas. I think I watched Donnie Darko, and I was like, why? Why did I watch this? I couldn't even say how many times I watched Red Dawn as a kid. I know. Me and my brother would watch that. That and The Warriors constantly. Whenever it was on HBO, we would watch it. Jess is a great movie, Frank. Great movie. Red Dawn was one of my favorites. Yeah, that's a good movie. There was a movie we would watch all the time. I can't think of the name of it. I want to say like Roger Daltrey was in it, like not Pinball Wizard, or somebody like that. And it was a really cheesy movie. It was like about a rock star who was selling his soul to the devil. And I remember it was kind of a musical kind of weird thing. And they were singing a song about taste the apple, bite the apple or something. I got to figure out what movie that was. Frank says, The Warriors, ultimate comfort watch. Yeah. You guys can't guess it because I would be shocked if any of you watched it. Try us, Lorraine. Not Tommy, no. I don't even know if Roger Daltrey was even really in it. And if you watch the movie series too, you would never admit it. Frank, this sounds like it, right? It does. It's really, really cheesy. Is it Dennis the Menace? Labyrinth, that might be a good one. Legend, that might be her big her thing too. Armand Phantom of the Paradise. Not pseudo sexy enough, Tom. Is that the movie? Is that what you're telling me? That's the movie? It could have been. That could have been it. That could have been it. Maybe that was it. Maybe you got it. I don't think I would ever watch it again. Whereas it's not pseudo sexy enough, Tom. If I can admit to watching over 3,000 episodes of Bold and Beautiful, I ain't scared of your movie series. Like, yeah, exactly. If it is the movie, shame on you. Yeah, but again, 1974. So I was like, I don't know, 8, 9 years old when this was on like HBO. It was awful. Keith says that's the Kiss movie. No, that was Phantom of the, what do you call it? Wait, we got a clue. It's a movie series. You guys will make fun of me, Chad. Is it Left Behind? It's Little House on the Prairie, isn't it, Lorraine? Sexy Michael Landon. Lorraine's movie is Cocoon. You handle teasing better than I do. Lorraine, my favorite movie is Howard the Duck. No one's going to make fun of you. Yeah, you can't get worse than that. I barely remember Cocoon. I remember working with some young guy when I was young, but he was younger. And we walked into a store. We had to pick something up for work. And there was, there was like old people. And again, they were probably like in their 40s and above. And he said, what are we here for tryouts for the new Cocoon movie? And I laughed my ass off. I thought that was hysterical. Chet says, Edward Lawrence's favorite movie is also Have the Duck. What is wrong with you guys? Oh my God, that movie was so bad, it was bad. Is that true, Charlie? If it is, I might just disclose my secret love. Lorraine, The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. It's Twilight, isn't it? Oh. Tom won. I mean, we can still keep guessing. Twilight. Never saw it. It's Roger Rabbit. I love Cocoon. Haven't seen it forever. What's funny is all the people in Cocoon are all younger than us. Most of us. Got something stuck in my tooth. I know this is gross. It's bothering me. A lot of people love Twilight, Lorraine. That's not odd or embarrassing. I've seen Twilight once. Name the movie reference. My father hit me once. Once. Cocoon was like one of those movies HBO would play ad nauseum back in the day. Johnny Dangerously. I'm embarrassed to get caught up in all that sexy posing with vampires and werewolves young enough to be my kids. Charlie says I also have a confession. I've never seen Howard the Duck. Charlie. Lots of people love those Twilight movies. Definitely not for me, but you like what you like. Exactly. Charlie's favorite movie, 50 Shades. Right? Charlie does win the day. I heard I got that one scene that changed me. Pretty much what's the first Twilight. The episode will either make you laugh or hurt your feelings. Good times. I guess at this point we're just waiting for Nick Zinn to show up, so I can get off and go do something else. Charlie can never be trusted again is right. Sarah goes, my wife took our nieces to a Twilight convention. They had a lot of fun. Sure, if you like that stuff, yeah. Now I have to second guess everything Charlie has ever told me. I would. Did we turn your day around? Keith hit number one. I just realized. Yeah, I'm in a better mood now. Talking about all kinds of random weird things that anybody watching this after the fact is going to be like, what are we, aren't you supposed to be writing? Yeah. I'll write later on. I'll write when the muse strikes me. Trey says, my bad. My real favorite movie is The Thing. A bad movie I really like is Chopping Mall. I understand it's not good, but I love it. It was the poetry, food for the soul. Exactly. Maybe I do love poetry. I didn't even realize. Chad says Chopping Mall is great. Feels like April Fool's Day, Charlie. The Thing is probably my favorite movie as well, followed closely by Jaws. Chomo's fantastic, and that publisher Chad did because of Trigger 4 did a novelization. Try, I can't even spell your name right since I'm so upset. Haas says, I got to go. Everybody take care and have a great weekend. You have a great weekend, Haas. Do your thing, my friend. Do your thing. Don't listen to Keith's caustic notes on your stuff. Keep writing. Scariest part of Chopping Mall is mall carpeting, Frank says. April Fool's Day is a pretty good low-budget slasher movie, Lorraine. Yes, I was bummed when I saw that, Keith. Was hoping I could have done that one. Have a good weekend. Cheers, Haas. I think I'm out of here in about a minute. And everybody, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for watching 30 seconds or more of each ad. Thank you for purchasing products underneath the description as well. I didn't tell them to stop writing. Jeez. And we will do this again on Monday. Right? Monday's the 1st. Monday we're into June. Goodness. Where did it go? See, now Lorraine doesn't believe anybody thanks to Charlie. Wow. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. All right, everybody have a great weekend. Exactly, Tom.